Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is having a good time, doing fun things, living life, especially now that summer is coming to an end, which really sucks because it's only 7:30, or actually I think it's 8 o'clock now rather, and it's already freaking dark out. Oh, I hate this time of year. I hate most times of year that aren't summer. I'm not gonna lie, but anyway, for this video, you're gonna have to pull out your Gen X card first of all, and and again, sorry about the background. Everything's still kind of in disarray because we're still trying to figure out where we're gonna put everything because we got shelves and stuff, and just trying to figure out where things are gonna go because we want to rearrange everything completely. So it's slow going because both of us. Tracy's usually working at night. I work during the day, and weekends. Well, weekends we do shit. So, except this stuff that we should probably be getting on, but we're both we're not procrastinators. We're just procrastinators. But anyway, I am going to talk about Gatchaman, or as we called it in the West, and Battle of the Planets. But before that, this is an unrelated box set that I have right here. This one's called Classic Collection. I've had this for years, and when I downsized my DVD collection, I thought I accidentally gave it away because I have other steelback box sets like this, but mostly like classic movies, like Hollywood movies from like the 1930s, 40s, 50s, etc. And I got rid of all the cases and just kept the DVDs and put them in CD wallets because they're taking up space. They weren't really that nice, except for this one because I really like the art on it. I really think it's cool, and there's a lot of really cool movies in there. So that's what they are in there. Anyway, and I thought I gave it away, like just threw this in accidentally with the other metal cases. And for the last like 2 years, I've been just losing my shit, so mad at myself for doing that. But because of the video I'm about to do, I found this buried in the back of one of the shelves, and because a lot of my DVDs are 2 rows, because there's so many of them, are 2 rows deep, and this was in the back behind a bunch of things, and I just happened to see the green and silver, and I was just like, is that what I think it is? And when I found it, I was so happy. I was just like, oh my god, I didn't give it away. There's so many, and if you like industrial music like I do, industrial metal, industrial whatever, especially in like Ministry and Pigface. What else was there? There's Revolting Cocks. Also, get your head out of there. The cat's underneath the table here. Move this down, you see his feet. Right there. Oh, now I just pulled it away. But make sure there wasn't anything with my name on it that I didn't want on camera, but no, there's nothing there. I don't think so. No, there is not. But yeah, he has his foot up. As soon as I pull the camera down, he's like, yoink. But anyway, there's a lot of samples. The song So What, for example, by Ministry, that comes from a movie called The Violent Years, and the movie's on here, and that all the samples in there, except for the Scarface sample, are in here. And please don't knock everything over. But anyway, just a little side note. Sorry, there's a bit of an earthquake or a cat rolling around underneath. Oh, just go back to being quiet and sleepy, please. At least till I'm done the video. At least with him up there, they're not fighting, so that's always a delight. But anyway, I'm going to get into these in a second. But show the artwork and everything else. Now, if you don't know what Gatchaman is, it was an anime show, or from back in the 70s, early days of anime. I'm not a big anime fan, to be honest, but I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up, but this is a big chunk of my childhood. All the kids, we all watched it. We were in like grade 2, I think, at the time, and during like playtime, we had Legos. We'd always make the spaceship, the Phoenix spaceship and stuff, and we always talked about that. And I always played the same time as Super Friends. But my parents didn't like this show. Maybe it was the animation, because it is very anime for early anime style. But maybe it's just the animation, just the way it was. They just didn't like the show, so they'd always make me watch Super Friends, which is funny because I like, will you stop doing whatever it is you're doing? Look, I don't know what you're doing besides being disruptive. Like, you wanted to go in there like it's sitting on a box as it usually is, and now you just can't get comfortable. He was comfortable until I started recording, and now he's not comfortable. Just don't move, please. Go to sleep. Lullaby, lullaby. Okay, that didn't work. Um, but anyway, yeah, they made me watch Super Friends. I mean, I like Super Friends, but I like Battle of the Planets better. But I remember getting mad one time saying, I don't want to watch this. They're like, we're watching it. You're watching Super Friends. That's it. Watch the damn cartoon. But anyway, but yeah, this is a great show. I'm just going to show off these two. These are the American versions of the DVDs. I don't think these were done in seasons. I think they just did them like with episodes. So there's volume 1. It has some really cool artwork with the characters. In Japan, it's Ken, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Ken would be this guy, and I don't remember his name. But in the Western version, this was Mark, and this was Jason, and then some shots from the show. I'm just gonna do this one's really quick. That's a really cool picture. It's kind of a common picture. It's sort of an iconic one. And then of course you got like Princess on the back there, and who's that? It's Tiny in the background. But basically the premise of the show was they were superheroes. They lived, I don't know if they lived under the water in the Americanized version, because there was added characters, and they called it Battle of the Planets. Sorry, I left out a bunch of stuff I want to mention. When it was released in 1973 in Japan, it was released in 1978 in the United States, or Canada as well, I guess. And it went from Gatchaman, was it Teenage Ninja Fighting Team? I think that's what it translated to. I'm showing these more for the artwork and stuff on the DVDs, because it's really cool artwork. And then it was changed to G-Force. They were called G-Force, not to be confused with the gerbil movie that came out a bunch of years ago. Yeah, and they called it Battle of the Planets because they were marketing off of Star Wars had just come out the year before. So Star Wars, Battle of the Planets, and then if you look at the way they've done the lettering, it's also kind of like the opening scroll in Star Wars. So, and they added a character called Seven Zark 7, who basically was a very R2-D2 looking character. But he actually talked and he could fly. Back then, R2-D2 couldn't fly yet, which is weird because it takes place in the future from the new movies where he can fly, but then he couldn't fly, and then he can't. I don't know. I don't know. Somewhere in the books, the lore books will tell you. I'm sure they will. But anyway, yeah, and they added that just to make it more child friendly. They had to cut down a lot of the violence, a lot of the mild swearing. What's in the background? Yeah, you can see groceries on the counter. Yeah, turn this to see and look at my grubby kitchen, because just because we did grocery shopping, or Tracy did grocery shopping, and it's all vegetables and fruit, because that's a lot of what I eat. Yeah, and then season 2, they gave him a dog called One Rover One. That was kind of like his little sidekick. But as a kid, they were kind of cute and stuff, but as an adult trying to watch the American version, I think they're more annoying than anything. I like the Japanese versions better. But they're darker, mild swearing, and a little bit more violent. But and it's weird, like this was a show for kids in Japan that was okay, and in the West, no, that's too violent. Like, it's the same show, same age demographic watching it. Who cares? But I don't know. Anyway, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of the. I think there might have been 10 in total of these box sets. And the store I used to buy them at, that I was buying them at, is it's still there, but they don't sell DVDs anymore. It's called Sonic Boom. Fantastic store on Spadina, downtown Toronto. Just north of Queen Street, a couple blocks north of Queen Street. Great store, a lot of collectibles, a lot of music there. There is still a lot of cool shit there. They just don't sell DVDs there, unfortunately, anymore. And between them and BMV, that's where I got like the bulk of my DVD collection. So, but I was buying these there. They stopped selling them. They did have them at BMV, but unfortunately, the ones they had at BMV I already had. So, but I would like to round out this entire collection. But I just want to show some of the artwork here. It still has a price tag on there, $14.99 Canadian dollars, but that's the Gatchaman logo. So that was the Japanese logo versus the one we're clearly marketing off Star Wars. But I just want to show some of the art. The art in here is really well done. You can just see that. I hope it's coming in kind of clear because the light, there's a bit of a reflection. And then, okay, don't chase Lemmy. So basically, they had their jet, the Phoenix. That's you can see part of it there, I believe. Oh no, that's just the cape, but there will be a picture of it in here somewhere, probably in here. But and it would turn into the fiery Phoenix once per episode, and then it would turn powerful and destroy the enemy. Basically, what it was is the aliens would come down and from planets, and it was also Zoltar and his guys that were the main villains. Kind of a Darth Vader-like character, but before Darth Vader was a thing, which is interesting because you would think it was the other way around because how, again, this one kind of took from Star Wars to sell the program. But anyway, yeah, you can tell I'm just doing this off the cuff. I only did a bit of reading, real quick reading, but anyway, that was the bad guys. And then also other aliens and monsters, they would create stuff, you know, the usual premise of like, got one giant robot fighting another giant robot, but in this case, it was these group of teenagers. But here's some of the art, and you can see the animation. The cover art, though, like the art is really what I'm focusing on in these videos. Like, just amazing artwork. And if you know the show, you can really appreciate this artwork, I'm sure. And then right there, and that's Zoltar right there, the Darth Vader type character. And I think if I'm not, and that's the fiery Phoenix, what the plane turns into right there in the corner there. But and I think there is a final closing episode where they unmask Zoltar. I hope I'm saying his name right. Zoltar, and he's and it turns out it's a woman, or it's sort of an ambiguous character in the Japanese version that it can swap genders or something. I know I read something about it, but I don't have the whole series, unfortunately, and I never really got that far in the Japanese series, which I'm kicking myself because there was also a store downtown on Yonge Street. The store's not there because it's fucking condos now, like everything else that used to be awesome. It's now condominiums, and it had a box set about the same size as one of these. It had the entire Japanese series, the entire American series, and it was only like $70, and I didn't buy it. And I've always kicked myself. I went back in a few days later, and of course it was gone, and I haven't seen it since. And now if I found it somewhere, it'd probably be about $150 at least dollars. So a little kick in the ass on my part. But anyway, so he's like the leader of the G-Force guys, or the Battle of the Planet guys, whatever you want to call them, the ninja fighting team. I can't remember what they're called now. It's bugging me. I'm sure it'll say it somewhere on one of the boxes, but anyway. But yeah, some of the artwork there. I'm gonna just take a quick peek at the stuff inside. These are the special features one that just have their logo on them. And there's that there. That is an amazing picture. Like the artwork that were put into these is just incredible. I wish I had the whole series. I got most of them, unfortunately. They were, like I said, they were selling them at BMV, and maybe I should check again because they do have. I think they do have a section that's just anime in their animated section. So maybe I'll go back and look. But that's the problem with used DVDs now is that it's luck of the draw. It's either there or it's not. They can't like just order it in for you, kind of thing. But anyway, this one here is collection 3. It's great artwork there too. And there's Ken. I went into a store that sells anime figures. Like I said, I'm not really big on anime, but sometimes you'll find horror movie stuff, which is where I got my Japanese Leatherface figure. That's where I got that. And sometimes you get lucky and you'll find something. So I went into this one store, and they had a couple horror movie things, a couple NECA figures, but I just randomly asked, I said, do you have any Gatchaman or Battle of the Planet stuff? He goes, oh, we got this. We only have one because it's not a big seller, which it isn't. It's more of a Gen X kind of thing. And most Gen Xers are spending their money on actual shit they need because they have kids, mortgages, and stuff, and I don't. But anyway, that's the. But they had one in there, and it was about the same size as the NECA figures. It was really beautifully made. It was a Japanese figure. It was like $300, and I was like, oh, I'm not spending that much. Now, if I do come in to a wad of money, I'd probably go back to. I would go back the next day and be like, done, mine on the shelf. But that's not gonna happen tomorrow. So anyway, there's this one, and that's Ken, and the figure was Ken. It was this character here. Had different capes and stuff, like molded capes in different positions. Really cool looking figure, but a little out of my price range at the moment. Oh, there's Princess, and I'm going to use the English names because I don't remember the Japanese names, but that would be Princess. And let me pop this back in there. Give me 1 second. All right, this is collection 4. There's Zoltar there. And then in the background, you got Tiny and Ken sort of in the shadows there. Again, really cool picture. Zoltar looks a little cartoony compared to like some of the other ones, but still really well drawn. And then there's Ken on the back, and that picture continues onto there. And then on that side, oh no, that's not Ken. That's oh no, I'm looking at the wrong side. Yeah, sorry, that's Tiny, and oh no, that's Princess. It's Tiny and Princess on that side, Ken in the middle. I just realized it's one big thing. And then not Tiny. I can't remember his name. He had a weird name. Tiny is the owl, the big guy. And then Jason and Princess. I can't remember the young guy's name, but he couldn't talk right. In the Japanese version, he could talk normal. In the Western version, he make like squeaky weird noises because he just had a speech impediment or something. He couldn't talk. So it's the weirdest thing, but it's just such an odd change. Anyway, these are the villains. I can't even remember the villains, what they're called, what their group is called, but that's what the soldiers kind of look like. So, and that continues over there. That's their guns. The logo, and let's see what's on the inside. Did I pull these ones out, or did I? Oh, I didn't pull these ones out, did I? No. I think his name, I want to say it's like Pippin or some weird name, but I know that's not right. But it's good. Drawing of them, and then the special features one, it's just the same thing. And there he is on the back. Oh, Jinpai the Swallow. Okay, that's his Japanese name, is Jinpai. But it doesn't say, because these are strictly the Japanese versions. It doesn't have the English names, the English version. And that's when they would, I think they called them transmute or something like that, and then that's when they would turn from the regular versions into the Ninja Fighting Force or into G-Force. They would start off as regular guys, regular people, and then they would do this thing, put their watch in front of their face, and then they would turn into like their bird personas. So he's a swallow. I always thought when I was a kid he was a sparrow. And so that's that. These guys back in here. And then go in there. And again, special features. And it has Ryu. That's his Japanese name. And he's the owl. You can see him right there. And then there's Zoltar on the cover. Really cool picture. And there he is. Tiny there. There he is. That's what he looks like in the cartoon. 2 more to go. If you're watching this all the way, I hope you like the show. And if you liked watching the show when you were a kid, or like watching it as an adult, like I do still, yeah, drop a comment. Tell me what you thought of the show, what you still think of the show. Talk about if you're into anime. Like I said, I'm not really a big anime guy, but if you're an anime, and tell me how you think it holds up compared to modern anime. This is 50 years old. This show versus stuff that's come out in the last 20, 30 years even. Tell me what you think and how comparable it is, or if you liked it, or if you thought it was stupid, or whatever. But this one here, this is collection 6. You can see the artwork there. Again, there's Tiny, and there's the ship there. This continues over there. Hope this isn't getting too washed out from the light. Because again, I'm just sitting in the corner. I don't have a proper spot right now. And who's featured on this one? Zoltar, I guess. Oh, yeah, Berg Katse. That's his Japanese villain name. You can kind of see he's a little sort of androgynous, a little sexually ambiguous, like gender ambiguous, I guess you could say. That's why when he's able to swap genders or something like that. I know there is an episode where he disguises himself as an attractive woman and infiltrates their base. So I think that's one of the episodes where he was able to gender swap. But anyway, at the end, apparently he gets unmasked and he's a woman. But and then there's Princess. Like I said, I'm just using the American names because I don't remember the Japanese ones properly. But there she is. That's actually a really good picture of just her face. In the early Japanese versions too, even in the opening credits, she does this jump and flip, and there's a little like typical Japanese like anime for young. I guess I don't know. It was targeted towards kids or teens because there is mild swearing, there is violence. People died on the show, characters died. All that they cut out in the westernized version. I guess because they wanted to target it for children, maybe. But she'd flip through the air and there'd be always like a panty flash or something. You'd always see like just a quick flash of like under her dress, like her skirt. Just in the opening titles, you see it too. It's just kind of like, okay. In hindsight, it's a little bit funny. But anyway, and there's Ken or Mark, depending on which version. I'm trying to get it in a spot where it's not light dark. But so that's those ones. And then lastly, this is something that the price tags on it. I spend $14.99 Canadian back when I first bought these. It's like 10 years ago. Yeah, so this is collection 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Because yeah. But anyway, the outside one, and there's the Phoenix partial as it's starting to transmute into the fiery Phoenix. That's actually a really cool picture, if you know the show. Trying to get a good spot here. And in the show, the Phoenix, like one of these, they got these little bulbs on the end of the wings. One of them, the racing car comes out, and the other one, a little tank comes out. Each character had their own vehicle, and then out of the bottom drops one's a racing car, and then there's one more. I can't remember what it is now, but anyway, who's featured on this one? It's a jet. It pops out of the back, which is right there, and that's what Ken flies. Or Mark. Jason has the racing car. The PP, whatever his name is, he had like the little mini tank, I think, and I can't remember what one of them was. Little jet, anyway, whatever. It's not important. I'm not going to sit and think too much about it. There he is throwing they were like kind of like little bird boomerangs that he would throw. And that's him throwing one there. And it's an up close on his face, which I've seen this picture before. Actually, it's funny. What inspired me to kind of do this video was I was on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. But, and somebody asked what not me personally, but what people thought of the show, if they still liked it, if they remember it. And I saw it was literally this picture, and I took a picture of all my DVDs of it, and, just kind of for fun. But anyway, it was that picture, and that's what made me think, oh, you know what, I'll do this long-ass video. And inside is a receipt. This is the store, actually. It's not there anymore because it's freaking condos. Say the name of the store? Refried Beats. That's what it was called. Refried Beats, which is a really clever name for a secondhand. It was a secondhand CD, a DVD store. Mostly music. It had one long section that had a lot of DVDs in it. But yeah, Gatchaman Collection 6 I bought. And that's a receipt. I must have bought something else because this was $56, and I know I didn't pay. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't buy these ones there because these ones are $14.99. So I guess I bought a couple of them at Refried Beats that I paid $25 for, which is a lot even for me. But anyway, if you watched this all the way through, like I said, if you were a fan of the show, if you still like the show, if you remember the show, and you want to just comment below and tell me what you thought of the show. And if you watched it all the way through, thank you so much. If you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, just help me get up to 1,000 subscribers. I know my videos aren't the most exciting. I just do them for fun. The whole 1,000 subscriber thing is just a little goal I've sort of set for myself. And yeah, subscribe or don't subscribe. I don't know, but comment, like, do all those things. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until the next one. Now I got to put all this shit away. Bye.